Hi there! We've been living in Bar in Montenegro for more than 3 weeks, and now I want to share with you our impressions, our experience about the city and Montenegro in general. But first, subscribe to me as we are traveling around the world with my husband. I post a lot of interesting content, and I want you and other travelers to see it and maybe to have some useful tips and help from my videos. Also, give this video a like so YouTube and other users will see it. So let's go on. We came to Bar from Ulcinj. The road took us about 30 minutes and €3.50. And first thing we need to do is go into the touristic information to make registration. Every tourist in Montenegro should do it in every destination, every new city. So if you don't do this touristic registration, then you will have a lot of problems on the borders while leaving the country. But actually we had a lot of problems right in the touristic center because to make registration, we need to have a property list from the host. We had 2 hosts here in Bar, one for 4 days, one for 3 days. And the first one didn't have this property list. And so he rented his property illegally. But we could do nothing with it, and the girl at the reception couldn't make registration for us. She didn't know what we should do. We could not just go out to the street and ask any person, please make us the registration, because this law is made to prevent such situations. We even communicated with the touristic center boss, but nothing worked. So we started to ask our first host to find someone to register us on, but then we understood that he let us down very much, and he will let us down again, and he will let down other people because there is no mark on booking while you are booking his flat that it is illegal in Montenegro. So we called our second host and asked if he could make registration for us for the first 4 days, but he said no. And then we asked if we could stay with him 4 more days, the previous 4 days. And yeah, he said yes. And then he came to the touristic center after 50 minutes and gave us the property list. And actually, the situation influenced us very much because, yeah, we were ready to make registration in area of 8 cities which we were going to visit, but then we decided to stay in Bar for 3 weeks. This is the girl who tried to help us very much, the worker of the touristic information. And as she said, when something bad happens, something good happens too, because while we were waiting for our host, we got acquainted with cool German guys who stayed there too. Here you see I gave them my friendship bracelets, and they waited till everything was good with us. And then they offered to join them while they were exploring the country by car. So we joined them and we visited all the countries we had planned to visit on foot. And that's why we could stay in Bar for 3 weeks, not for 1 week. So this is our super host, and we even prolonged the stay, not only for 1 week, but for 3 weeks, and relaxed here. This is our first little room in which we came in. It is €23 a day, and it is actually a good price for Montenegro. It is only 7 minutes walk from the sea, and the host first wanted €30, but then we agreed to 23. So for the first week we were traveling with the guys. And firstly, we visited Strog Monastery. It is in the mountains near Nikšić. We wouldn't have gone there by ourselves, but with the guys it was quite fun. We talked a lot on the way. We talked for 8 hours, and the monastery is beautiful. Then one day we visited Kotor, Perast and Tivat. This is Kotor. It is a very beautiful city with marvelous old town. Also Perast, which looks like Italy, Venice, but it is much cheaper, though quite expensive still, actually, because living here starts from 30 euros or 50 euros a day in a bedroom. And this is Tivat with its yachts. And it was really great that we could visit these cities without living there, because living there is very expensive and far from the city center. This is Budva, very hipster city with beautiful old town too. And this is Sveti Stefan. Yeah, so we need to say big thanks to Stephanie and Matthias, because we had a lot of pleasant and interesting talks on the way, and also if it wasn't for him, we would have gone with our backpacks to every city, stay here for 1 or 2 days, 2 or 3 kilometers from center, and spend just the same amount of time visiting every city as we did with them. But it would have been much less comfortable. So after 5 days we moved to another room. It is 2-room flat actually, with a little kitchen, and it is much more comfortable because we love having different rooms. Here you see there is even a bath tube, because having 2 different rooms means that we have 2 different spaces to spend our time and to work in. When we have this opportunity, we also sleep in different beds to have rest from each other, because we spend very much time with each other, as you understand, as we are traveling, and we're very self-centered. What is really great that there is a lot of daylight in this flat, and there is also a small ocean view. So only after 1 week in bar we decided to explore bar. First we went to the shop, and our host advised us to visit HDL as it is the cheapest, but we didn't think so. We liked Volley most of all, and this is Volley, a very good shop, and with quite reasonable prices. And there are also good shops, Idea and Franca. We'll visit them very often too. And we found quite a good gyros here for 3.5 euros. Also, we rented bicycles, because we always rent bicycles if we find some. It is Kalle Bikes. It is the only bicycle rental in the city, and the fee is 7 euros a day and 5 euros a day if you rent the bicycles for the whole week. And the bicycles are quite good. Though there are some hills in Bar, as Montenegro is quite full of mountains, as it is clear from the title. The city is quite flat, so we can ride like 2 or 3 hours a day and derive pleasure from it. Oh, look, and there are such nice stations to repair your bike if something goes bad. Mala Kuzhina, it is a fast food cafe, which our host advised us it must be good. As for the sushi, they are very expensive here. We thought that in Georgia sushi are expensive, but no, in Montenegro it is even more expensive. But actually all the restaurants and cafes here have high prices. So let's go to the beach. I want to show you how it is like here in Montenegro. Actually, it is very hot now in this country because it is July, it is the high season and the most touristic season. That's why there are a lot of people on the beach, swimming, relaxing, having sun baths. So yeah, the beach is very, very crowded, and it's not only in Bar, it's also in Olsztyn, in Budva and everywhere. But the sea is actually quite cold. much colder than, for example, in Vietnam or in Thailand. Maybe just I am so spoiled by Asia, but for me it is really cold and it is not comfortable to get inside because of the rocks. I do prefer the sand beaches. My husband is always trying to find some snorkeling everywhere, so he took his mask and decided to try finding some fishes or some other water inhabitants here, but he said that there is almost no snorkeling. He saw like a couple of fish and that's all. And I was just sitting and touching the water with my feet. That's how bar looks for a driver. Now as we're riding bicycles, we can visit some other beaches like the Wild Beach, though it is quite hot to get there. But still the roads here are good. And we just came to the Wild Beach to see if there is any snorkeling and to have some fun. By the way, write in the comments if you like swimming and sunbathing or not. So we're going down to the beach and it seems that there are a lot of people again relaxing, and there is like a beach club where you can have some dinner or maybe lunch. And the sunset is coming, that's why the light is so beautiful and people are very happy here. We're actually very happy too, because after the beach we decided to make shawarma at home. We bought such slices in Volley and it was pretty good, so do rent apartments with kitchen. Here in Bar you can also find a very old olive tree which you can visit. This tree is over 2000 years old. It symbolizes peace and fertility and is one of the city's main attractions. Though visiting it costs €2 for an adult. But it is one of the attractions here. And the other attraction is Ancient City, also known as Stary Bar, Old Bar. We decided to visit it on bicycles as well. On the 10th of July, it was our 5th wedding anniversary, and actually it was quite a bad idea because it is very hot and it was 3 or 4 kilometers up the hill. But the Stary Bar was of course amazing, so yeah, it was actually a good idea. This old town was founded during the ancient Roman era, and archaeological excavations show that people lived here as early as the 4th century before Christ. There are a lot of narrow streets, Instagrammable places, souvenirs, cafes, atmospheric corners, so if you like old towns, you must visit it, of course. There are old towns in Kotor, in Bar, in Budva, and I think that's all. I don't know about any old towns in Herceg Novi or Ulcin. If you know, please write in the comments. But Peras looks entirely like the old town actually. So there is also the old Bar fortress built in the 9th century, and it is one of the largest fortresses on the Adriatic coast. It contains ruins of ancient churches, houses, and even Roman baths. Bar was under the rule of both the Venetian Republic and the Ottoman Empire, which is reflected in its architecture and culture. You can find elements of both styles in the city, giving it a unique charm. So we had a lot of pleasure walking around Stary Bar, and as it was our anniversary, then we decided to go somewhere, and we found quite a good pizza cafe. It was not a touristic place, so the pizza cost like €6. Here is also Belgrade-Bar railway line, which is considered one of the most scenic railway routes in Europe, and the journey offers breathtaking views of mountains, valleys, and the coastline. Also, Bar is an important seaport in Montenegro and plays a significant role in the country's economy. The port connects Montenegro with Italy, Albania, and other Adriatic countries. There were even some routes from Bar to Italy, which tourists without Schengen visa could visit some years ago, but now there are none. Bar is a cultural and ethnic melting pot, where various nationalities and religion coexist peacefully. You can find Montenegrins, Albanians, Serbs, Muslims, and Christians creating a rich cultural mosaic. And of course, you can find a lot of tourists here. By the way, if you want to travel by yourself, I have a free list for you with 100 life hacks for self-traveling. You can download it for free in the description of the video. So, thanks for visiting Bar with me. If you have any questions about Montenegro or traveling, write in the comments, I will try to answer to you. Also, give this video a like to help YouTube algorithm to show it to other travelers, and subscribe to me to see stories about other countries and other cities. See you in my next videos. Bye bye!